So he made a video about how you need a purpose to move abroad, and I sat here for 18 minutes to wait for him to explain exactly what his purpose was to move abroad, right? And then he changed his title. Oh boy. Okay then. His question is a real one though. People move abroad and a lot of them come back. Some of them that spend like 10 years outside the country, and his answer was they didn't have purpose. All right, good. So, what's the purpose? Here's how he opens up.
What are you trying to get away from? For me, it was getting away from the dating culture in America. Absolutely terrible. I don't need your opinion on what you think it would have been like. I don't need to hear it.
Away from, okay. Step one of finding your purpose is making a list of things that annoy you. Okay, got it. And he definitely does that too. Dating culture, work culture, politics, cost of living. Now, I don't want to be that guy, but that's just a complaint with a passport, okay?
Speaking of that, culture is the next one. The culture is absolutely terrible in America. I love the laws. I love the laws in America for the most part. I absolutely hate the culture. I hate it with a passion. Y'all want to promote LGBT. Y'all want to make it seem like it's not a homosexual activity to have a penis in your mouth if you're a man. Y'all keep changing the guidelines on what's homosexual and what's not. Listen, I have nothing to do with none of that. If you got them mentality, stay the hell away from me. Or I get the hell away from you. Which is the reason why I did. You see how fired up I am talking about that?
Y'all heard what he said. He's so fired up about it. Wow. But let's be real for a second. What the hell are you talking about, my nigga? Who even thinks, why is this even a discussion of conversation? Who even talks like that? Talk about, oh, y'all can't tell me that a penis in a man's mouth not gay. What type of conversations are you having? What are you talking about? 4 years, 32 countries, and he still got that shit on the top of his motherfucking head.
For me, it was absolutely terrible. And for the amount of work that I had put in on myself, I felt that I was getting underserved.
So Lazarus over here thinks just because he did a couple of sit-ups and read a motherfucking book, he thinks a wife is just supposed to appear out of fucking nowhere, my nigga. Like, get the fuck out my face, bro. What are we talking about? Talking about serve me, my nigga. Like, what do you mean? Now hold on to that thought from me, because 7 minutes later, this happens.
That's a very silly, because America is one of the only places in the world where you can literally say whatever you want. Even immigrants can come talk shit about our country, and it's just fine. You can't go do that in their country. Some of these countries, you will be put in prison for saying what you want.
So America has the best free speech on earth, and he moved away because people were saying with it? Interesting. Same video, 7 minutes apart, said both of them out loud and just kept going. There's always one thing that bothers me about him. He left when he was around like 22, 23. I think he said he was like 27 now. It's been like 4 years of him traveling, 32 countries or whatever. And he sounds like exactly the same. Same complaints, same type of enemies, same list. 4 years of movement and not 1 inch of it happening on the inside at all. And think about what 23 is. That's a man that barely started. That's not a man who tried and shit didn't work out for him. That is a man that peaked and fucking left. All right? He did not fail at dating in America. He got to look at it and got on a goddamn plane to get some easy shit. And then he built a whole career explaining what's wrong with the thing he never really got into. Because let's be real, like 23, like come on, bro. It ain't been that long since you was in high school, my nigga. But seriously though, listen to what he's actually telling you. He loves the laws in America. He says it plain and motherfucking simple. He says America got the best free speech on earth. He just can't stand the people. So the country's fine and the system's fine, even though we know it's not. But he thinks the rights are fine, of course, but it's everybody else that's the problem. That's not anybody who found anything better. That's somebody who left the room and took the whole argument with him. We're about 6 minutes into a video about finding purpose, and then his purpose shows up.
Today's show to tell you guys something very important that I think as a world traveler, or any traveler, actually anybody, would find useful. And that is the #1 product that has made my travels very seamless, easy, and even more affordable, which is the Klarna. For you guys that don't know what Klarna is, it's basically a buy now, pay later service that is a very good replacement for people that can't get traditional credit cards. So for those people that want to be able to travel more often and make it more affordable, but they can't get approved for credit cards, again, I highly recommend using the Klarna card.
Now, hold on. I seen this one before. He ran the same type of pitch about like a month ago about the card. He had like a whole separate video about it. Now, I want to be fair with him first, because a lot of this checks out, okay? It really is $45 a month. It really is 2% back. The lounge thing is real. 1,800 lounges is accurate and all that. So I'm watching this thinking like, all right, maybe there's nothing here. But then he really starts to break down the math.
First one I want to start off with is the 2% cashback. Now, 2% cashback is not a lot. It's not going to change your financial situation drastically. It's not going to make anything different. But I was doing some math, and around every single month, I spend around $5,000 running my YouTube channel, traveling, eating, living. It costs around $5,000 for me to operate everything. Now, at $5,000, avoiding, this also has no international transaction fees, right? So if I'm avoiding the 3% that my bank would charge me, which, I mean, it seems like 3% is nothing, but over time it accumulates to probably what 1 month of my rent, groceries, gym membership, Ubers, and everything costing me to live in Kenya 1 month. So when you look at it over time, yeah, you're swiping like it's nothing, but you could have lived 13 months in 2025 instead of 12 months, and you could have done something with that money. Now, annually, if I spend around $5,000 per month with my bank, it's costing me $150 per month in international transaction fees. Annually, that's around $1,800. So actually, that's almost 2 months, 2 months for me. I'm sorry. And with Klarna, they don't. If you have the max membership, I have the max membership. This is the one that you want. The other ones have benefits, but this has the best benefits, and it's only like $44 a month, $44.99. And I get 2% cash back. So if I spend that same $5,000 with this card, I get $100 back in cash. Not a lot, but that's $1,200. And if I overspend in another month, then I get even more money. You do the math, right? And this makes it a net improvement from $250 a month, or in other words, $3,000 per year, which is a 5% improvement. Because remember, I went from losing 3% to not paying that 3% and adding 2% on top. Now, the next thing that I like about this card is if you cannot get a good credit card, like a Sapphire card or one of the other credit cards that people use to go into airport lounges, with this max membership, and I'm not sponsored by Klarna. I'm not. You can email them. I know my haters love to email people. You can email them, ask if they sponsor me. If you use this card for your Klarna account, you have unlimited lounge access to 1,800 plus lounges all throughout the world.
Now, the way he's going to pitch you on this card is he's going to use his monthly expenses as, his math for how this card is good, okay? And keep that in mind. His monthly expenses for when he's living abroad out of town, all right? He said he saves $250 a month. That's roughly $3,000 a year. I checked that. That part is right. Of course. 3% he's not paying. That's $150. 2% he's getting back. That's $100. $250, that's correct. But there's a missing number to this equation. The membership. The card costs $45 a month. He told you that himself in this video early on. $45 a month times 12 months, that's $540 a year. You gotta subtract that. That's not an opinion, that's how money works. Okay, $3,000 minus $540, that's $2,460. He forgot to subtract what he is paying, okay? That's the whole card. That's the thing the video is about, and it's not in the math at all. Now pay attention to this part right here, because people can actually lose money getting this card, okay? He said he paid about 12% in interest on this card right here. A credit card charges 20, so Klarna wins, according to his logic. But if you don't know how interest works, that sounds about right to you, right? But I kind of got to explain how interest work, like you guys are 5, okay? Because I'm going to have to for this video, okay? Say you owe $1,000, right? A credit card charges you interest on what you still owe every month, okay? So month 1 you owe $1,000, they charge you on $1,000. Month 2 you pay some off, now you owe $900, they charge you on $900. Month 6 you owe like $500, they charge you on $500, okay? The number that they are charging you gets smaller every single month because of course you're paying it down. Now we look at his number. His number is 12%. That's the total he paid at the end on the whole thing. That's not a rate at all, okay? So he's comparing what he paid total to a rate that shrinks every single month. Those are not the same kind of numbers. You can't put them right next to each other, bro. You just can't. It's like saying, oh, I paid $20 for gas You pay $4 a gallon. I'm fucking winning around this motherfucker. Like, come on, bro. $20 for gas ain't the motherfucking price. It's just what you spent. All right, now let's get to the part that he will never bring up. Everything I just said was about his numbers, his spending, his flights. So let's do yours, all right? That membership is $540 a year, which means before you make a single dollar off this card, you gotta earn that shit back first. And how do you earn it back? 5% on what you spend overseas, 2% cash back, 3% you ain't paying the bank. So one question, how much you gotta spend to get $540 back at 5%? $10,800, my nigga. And you have to spend all that overseas in 1 year. That's not profit at all. That's just to break even. Like getting back to zero. Now, he spends $5,000 a month. So he hits that, less than 2 months since he lives, abroad, of course. So for him, the card is pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and act like that it's not. He's telling the truth about his own life. But if we're talking about you, say you take one trip a year, maybe you spend about $3,000 while you're overseas. That's a real trip, by the way. We're not going to act like that's not a trip. That's a trip if you spend $3,000 overseas. 5% of 3,000 is $150. You paid $540. You just lost $390 trying to save money. And here's the thing, he don't even know what he paid.
Came out to be $924. Well, that's $100. That's somewhere around 10% or something like that. 13%, something like that. You do the math. I know y'all are experts at a lot of stuff.
What do you mean we do the math? Nigga, it's your video. You're the one that's trying to put us on. You do the math. And if you want to put it in his actual units, he's at like what, 22, 24%? That's higher than the card he's actually telling you to run from. That's not even the bad part. So I ran the numbers, $877, 20% for 12 months. The credit card would have been cheaper. And I'm just using his example, his numbers, his flight. All right now guys, I want us to count up something real quick. In one video about finding your purpose, here is everything that he came up with, okay? In one video about finding your purpose, here is everything that came with it. The Klarna card, invite link, $20 bonus. All right, SafetyWing insurance, one-on-one consultations, the motherfucking 300 job list, and a group trip with a $50 deposit to hold your spot. That's 5 things in one video about purpose. And my favorite part is how he explains the deposit on the trip. Like, it's just phenomenal.
That will be linked in the first pinned comment. Please make sure you go sign up. It's free to sign up, but you do have to pay a $50 deposit because we have plenty of people that want to sabotage everything I do. So we will have it behind a paywall, and that is just your reservation to be considered.
So because people don't like him, therefore you owe $50. That's beautiful, actually. That's a paywall and a bulletproof vest. And this is not the only video where he pulls this bullshit. He made a whole separate one about 3 weeks off alcohol, right? 20 days in, and his big conclusion is that everybody else is being dramatic about it.
For all you know-it-alls, when I was walking back from the gym, I thought to myself, I don't really feel that different. Like, I think this shit is a placebo. Like, I think or maybe y'all are just too dramatic. Maybe y'all are like, is this gonna change? But I don't really feel, like, I was sitting there listening to videos of people talking about, I stopped drinking for 90 days. I stopped drinking for 365 days. And they're just talking about how their life is so much better. And I think it's all bullshit. Like, I mean, maybe I'm at the point where I think maybe I was the best type of alcoholic there was.
3 weeks in, and he already thinks he know better than somebody that's been out for like a whole year? And that's the whole pattern right there with this nigga. Whatever the situation is, he's never in it. He's above it, watching everybody else overreact. The countries didn't work out. The countries were the problem. Dating didn't work out. The women are the problem. He quits drinking and don't feel any different. Now y'all are the problem for feeling any different. Man just been above it for 32 countries, right?
If you not making over $6,000 to $7,000 a year, you need to stop trying to go home every 3 months. It is silly.
Now think about who he's talking to. He tells you himself. People who can't get approved for credit cards. People making $4,000 a month. And he does the math for them. If you're making $4,000 a month, you can't afford $6,000 a year to go see your family. And that's correct. That's pretty good math. No notes needed for that. Right. And then 30 seconds later.
But I'm sorry to tell you this, you're going to have to see your family less often. Because if you're only making $4,000 a month, can you really afford to spend $6,000 a year? If you have the Klarna card from the ad that I just showed you, maybe you do have that money. And I think if you don't have that Klarna card, you are also silly, because it is the best thing that you can have right now. It is better than a credit card, if you ask me, and it allows you to finance your trips up to a year.
So if you can't afford to see your family, you should just finance it. Got you. And if you don't want to finance seeing your family, you're silly. You're silly, okay? I'm just repeating him at this point, by the way. I'm just repeating them. I ain't saying nothing bad, I'm just repeating them. Alright, so let's just get back to the original topic of the video. 18 minutes on how you need a purpose to make it out here. But he never gets around what his purpose really is. He tells you what he got away from, which is dating, culture, politics, cost of living. He tells you everywhere he's been, 32 countries, right? He tells you all 5 things you can buy, but not one word about what he is building. 4 years to 23 to 27 and 32 countries. And the man is still standing in the exact same spot he was standing in before he left. But hey, at least he fixed the goddamn title of the video. Holy shit. But anyways, I just had to rant about this video. I'm gonna see you guys later. Peace out.